Okay, now that the soil is all in and mixed and ready, we are laying the drip line. So, explain what this is.
This is the drip line. You can find it in brown or black, but about every foot there's a drip hole, so as it runs along, provide water to the plants.
Is it called drip?
Yeah, it's drip line.
Okay. Drip line. So what are you doing there?
I'm cutting this line so I can make an addition.
You just explain as you go along.
So this is a T connector. So basically it allows me to add this line off of an existing line. So after I cut this line, I add this T connector. You might want to wear gloves while you're doing this. In some cases, they're not very easy to get on. And after you do this for quite a while, your fingers rub raw, but if you're in a hurry, you can do it easily. So you want to make sure that after you get it on, it butts up against the joints on the T connector.
Okay.
So basically what I did was just pre-cut this drip line. And don't forget, it has a hole at the end, so you can buy these stoppers. And you just poke it into the end, prevents the water from coming out.
Okay.
So you can pretty much customize however you want it to fit your garden.
Yes.
And I just use these regular garden staples. You can buy the ones that don't rust, but I don't have any of those with me right now.
Garden staple. And what is this part of the drip line?
Which part is it, the brown part?
Mm-hmm.
That's just where all the water's coming from, the main supply. So this white,
Which is buried under the ground.
it is.
To the
It's
valves.
buried under the ground, all the way to
Okay.
the valves, and everything that we have is on a timer, so it makes it very easy for us.
Excellent. There's the timer. You can set it up like this, or if you have time, you can water it, but the timer. Hunter Douglas.
So the next thing that we're going to do is, because we have a drip line established, this is good for the roots and everything that's underneath the soil, but plants need water from the top too, so I'm going to drop another line in these are sprayers, so I can adjust the height, just depend on how much I shove the stake into the ground, and it wets the leaves and everything from above, since we don't get much rain here in Southern California. So basically, in order to get this line started, use this little punch, and I just punch it right in to this main supply.
Is there a hole there already?
There's no hole there. I'm creating the hole.
Okay.
So that's what the point's for. I shove it in. Once it snaps in, pull it out. Now this line is different from the line I just used. This doesn't have those drip holes in it. This is just a regular water line. So I basically just, estimate how much I'll need. I take one of those single connectors, push it in. Again, you might want to wear gloves. And in that hole that I created, I poke the other end right into that hole. And you'll hear a pop when it finally gets in.
I heard that. There it is in.
Okay. So here you just kind of guess how far you are. So this is a 4x8 bed.
Okay.
And I want to center 3 equal distance. So I'm probably going to shave some line off of this, just so I have even water coverage. And the great thing about these, which I got these from Home Depot, they pretty much come pre-assembled. So all I have to do at this point is shove this into the line that I want. I'm just going to go ahead and preset these so that way whenever I cut my other line,
You'll know how far?
I'll know exactly how far I need and how much I need. Okay. Now, this is where the cutting comes into play. T-connectors. We use the same T-connectors that we used earlier. Again, make sure that it goes all the way in. What I found out about these that I bought from Home Depot, you cannot take these connectors out very easily, so I just cut them off. Add that line onto the T connector. There, it's all the way on. And now we're going to continue on. So again, cut off another piece
T connector
of your line. On to your next sprayer. Another T connector. It's all very repetitive until we get to the end. The end is actually a lot easier. This last extension on. Now this, if you wanted to, you could use regular drip line.
What's the difference between this drip line and...
Okay, so you can see these two. This one doesn't have the holes in it, so the water just flows right through it and never exits until it hits whatever outlet you want it to. If you use a regular drip line, like this one, then you're kind of using the same line dual purpose.
Okay.
It's not gonna, you're not gonna lose pressure as far as like the water that you want to get to these sprayers. But to add the last one to end it, it's very simple. You just connect the last sprayer on and you're done. Now, what I like to do is at the end of these, add another one of these stakes so that I keep this line running along the ground or the soil
Just a nice clean job. Okay. Finished with these guys?
Done.
All right. So there we have our bed ready, our new bed ready with the drip lines and the sprayers all set up. Excellent. Next I'm going to transplant.